In the place, of course, of Jerry Esplano, who is still injured and he's not going to play today.
And he's been doing quite well, replacing Gerald Esplana as we look at Bong Alvarez against Vergel Meneses and Lambert Shell. I think he has someone watching him, his inspiration. In the Cuneta Astrodome, you will be seeing her later as we saw a miss by Andy De Guzman. The referees for this ball game are referee Ledesma, referee Varela, and referee Vic Bartolome.
Miscommunication on the part of the blue shirts. Ball will remain with the Realtors. Well, we remember, Jimmy, that at the last game of these two teams, Bong Alvarez and Rick Marata did not play in that game.
And Rick Marata will pass off to Andy De Guzman, who fakes off. The defense. And the foul committed by Tony Harris. 10 minutes and 49 remaining. No one has scored yet in this ball game. First time these two teams met, Santa Lucia won. Nelson Aceitono tapped it out.
You know, these are the two top teams in terms of offense here in the PBA. And somehow you have this feeling that unless these two teams can execute well, as you see this easy slam off a steal by Tony Harris, again, half-court execution will be key in this ball game as well as team rebounding, Jimmy.
So Tony Harris opened the scoring and Bong Alvarez will even things out right away. So that's the first deadlock of this ball game. 10 minutes and 22 remaining. Tony Harris has been noted for a lot of things in this conference. As De Guzman blocked Rudy Distrito and Rick Marata will miss completely, but saved.
Good save by Shell. Limpot will take it in.
Oh yes. Sandro Limpot has distinguished himself in the semifinals. You have to remember they entered the semifinal round, the last of the 5 teams, and they won over the heavyweights. After a ball fake, a pass off to Nelson Aceitono, and that will make this ball game tied once again.
Well, certainly Jun Limpot has been one of the key players for Santa Lucia. He has stepped up his performance here. 21 points per game as we see a great inside pass to Andy De Guzman, another guy who has picked up his game here in the semis, averaging almost 11 points per game.
Apparently there has been quite a response to the absence of Gerald Esplana.
And you know, what's very amazing with the way Santa Lucia has been playing is the fact that they've been only using about 8 players per ball game. Some people express some concern there, Jimmy, but obviously when something goes well, especially in your rotation, then you've got to go with it. Of course, one thing that will probably be affecting that is when you get into foul trouble.
And let's not forget the major decision that has brought him here to the semifinal round, the acquisition of Lambert Shell.
Oh yes, Lambert Shell, I've always said this, is not only a guy who can put up the numbers every night here, but I think he has provided the leadership for this team.
Rudy Distrito, the pass back to Vergel Meneses, possible 3-point play after the foul was called. Andy De Guzman commits personal foul number 1.
Beautiful pass by Distrito, and there you see those two players who exchanged teams during mid-season, colliding in mid-air, with Vergel Meneses getting the better of that exchange.
At the 4.5-meter line, the 3-point play is completed. First 3 points for Vergel Meneses in this ball game. Jun Limpot, Rick Marata. After the ball fake, finally a pass to Rick Marata. It was a little over, but then it bounced in and it favored Marata for his first pair of points. So now Swift is ahead still by a point. 8 minutes and 5, and Vergel Meneses, it's slapped away by Lambert Shell. Rudy Distrito, in and out. What a rebound by Lambert Shell. Really slapped that basketball. Rick Marata met by Rudy Distrito. 19 on their shot clock. A lot of time. Bong Alvarez, no cutters. There is one. Lambert Shell ball fake and then the fancy dribble and then the release. A little short. Harris will snare the rebound.
Shell was not squared for that shot. Another outlet pass here. Meneses wisely moving out as he was too deep under the basket.
11 on their shot clock. Nelson Asaitono. Before the pass off, I think there was a foul on Berhel Meneses, committed on Berhel Meneses.
It'll be on Lambert Shell as he bumped his body on Nelson Asaitono. What's very noticeable here, Jimmy, as you start this first quarter, is that Swift has been taking it in the blue paint and taking it in the gut of the defense of Santa Lucia thus far.
Terry Sildana scored off the glass. 7 minutes and 9 and 3-point lead for Swift underneath Bong Alvarez.
Well, Harris cannot afford to pick up another foul here. He has already won as we're only 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
We might look at the standings right now in Santa Lucia. We can say they're at the bottom, but they're 2 games away from the leader. As we looked at that conversion by the Swift Mighty Meaties, but we can't say they don't have a crack at the championship.
No, actually, it looks like the magic number of wins will be 12 here, Jimmy, for a team to safely make it to the finals, at least a playoff, assure themselves of a playoff. Santa Lucia may still get that outright, but they're looking at the 5 of 8 incentive rule. And certainly they have the best chances here since they have already picked up 3 wins.
Nelson underneath, right underneath the rim against Lambert Shell. 3-point ball game. Swift is ahead. 6 minutes. And 12 remaining. We're in the first quarter. Bong Alvarez on the right side. Back to the middle. Rick Marata. No steal by Nelson Asaitono. Limpot will not convert, but he will go to the 4.5-meter line. That'll be the first foul on Nelson Asaitono.
Asaitono was a step late there, trying to check himself after going for a steal. You know, one of the keys in this ballgame, I believe, will be Rick Marata. Esplana, whom Marata is replacing in the starting unit, in their last game scored about 24 points and had 8 assists in that ballgame. Rick Marata has to at least approximate half of that performance if Santa Lucia wants to keep close with Swift there.
Zandro Limpot, is he a cinch for Rookie of the Year? We don't have Johnny Albarrientos anymore, and Alaska's not playing the semi-final round.
You know, I think it's a safe wager to say that June Limpot is on his way to making Rookie of the Year. Certainly now he's setting his sights for the mythical 5 selection, and of course, aside from the bonuses in his contract, that's going to be a big honor.
But Meneses, oh, this time it's all net. After 2 previous misses from that spot, he now has 7 points. But Meneses for the Swift Mighty Meaties, 4-point lead. That's what they have. Rick Marata to Andy de Guzman, in and out. And the rebound will be taken by Tony Harris, knowing that Lambert Shell was there. Secured the basketball, passes off to Berhel Meneses. He was right there on the sidewalk of Harrison Boulevard, so that was called outside. We have a timeout call. This 4-point ball game resumes, and you just saw that foul by Alvarez right after that miss.
Well, he was trying to go for the offensive rebound there, but he went over the back of Tony Harris. Harris has hardly taken a shot here, and Meneses again being set up by Tony Harris. Kisses it off the glass, and now Swift is on top by 6 here.
And Meneses has 9 points. Alvarez 2. Lambert Shell, the crossover dribble, and then in there, and that'll make it a 4-point ball game once again. 19-15. Swift is ahead 4 minutes and 37 remaining in this first quarter.
Well, you can see obviously that both teams are slowing it down. They know the capacity of each team to run and gun. And so far, it's really been the team that has been executing well. Another great pass. That's the way Swift has played today. They've moved the ball well. Look for the open man in the blue paint.
We're looking at a team playing in the hard court right now.
Well, I guess they're being affected by the criticisms that they have not really played as a team here, with Tony Harris hugging the ball too much. So now they're showing a little bit or a lot of team effort right now.
That's how basketball is spelled. It's T-E-A-M.
Without the letter I, as Coach Ron Jacobs would put it.
Nelson Saitono acknowledges the foul committed underneath in the blue paint. And still a short appeal to referee Varela.
Here's that good fake by De Guzman. Aceitono will reach in. Well, the reason why he was appealing this case is because that will be his second personal foul. Certainly that will affect Coach Yang Yao's own rotation here.
4 minutes remaining. Andy De Guzman, his first shot from 4.5-meter line will go in. He has 3 points right now. Top scoring for the Swift Mighty Meaties has been Vergel Meneses for Santa Lucia, evenly distributed between Alvarez and De Guzman, and then there's Limpot. Again, Vergel Meneses is making a living from that spot for the Swift Mighty Meaties.
Well, what's happening now with the Santa Lucia defense is they're trying to make Tony Harris give up the ball and challenge the locals of Swift to make the basket. So far, that has not worked for Santa Lucia, and it has done wonders for Swift.
Lambert Shell wanted the baseline, didn't get it, and even lost the basketball as well.
Santa Lucia, one of the most error-prone teams here, averaging about 17 turnovers. Swift, one of the best in forcing the turnovers. Some numbers this early. Swift already with a big advantage in terms of assists. Whoa, what a slam.
Tony Harris, his 4th point.
And that's what happens when you draw the defense several times and passes it off. This time, the defense tried to read it going back on the wings, but Tony Harris took it strong, got the easy slam inside.
And Rick Marata, heavy traffic, lost it, but there's Bong Alvarez. The miss! Tony Harris sees Rudy Distrito streaking down, and it's stolen by Andy De Guzman. It will be a 4-on-2 foul committed by Harris.
Or Distrito. Yes, it could be on Rudy Distrito here. Big sigh of relief for Tony Harris.
Oh yes, there was that foul, but Harris was also there. Andy De Guzman, right after the timeout, converted his first charity, also converted his second one. And now it is 25-19. And again, Vergel Meneses, they're not guarding him at that spot, so he's been making a living.
Well, the rotation has been a step late for Santa Lucia. Jun Limpot tried to stretch out on defense, but the spacing of Swift has been magnificent here.
This play was executed earlier, different type of execution. Still successful, and 8 points for Andy De Guzman. He is top scoring for Santa Lucia. 2 minutes and 7 remaining in this first quarter. Vergel Meneses over to Saldana. Yes.
Very simple play here. I think Swift has really studied their tapes, knowing that the defense would be drawn on Tony Harris, and now Swift is just moving the ball very quickly and looking for that open man.
Alvarez. Lambert Shell is well covered by Perry Saldana. So Alvarez wanted to take that pop and lost the basketball, and Tony Harris is on his way. But that is only the 6th point of the import.
That's right, but he has also picked up about 5 rebounds and 5 assists in this ball game already, and we're only in the first quarter here.
Limpot will miss. Oh, a strong rebound by Lambert Shell. Follow-up doesn't go. Lambert Shell once again underneath. Oh, yes, the 3rd time around it goes in.
Very pugnacious off the board. Lambert Shell looking for a foul. Coach Nat Canson still very calm despite the 8-point lead erected by Swift here.
And while Tony Harris was dribbling that basketball, crossing the center line, Aceitono was appealing his case. And he's right underneath. The alley play didn't work. Lambert Shell streaking down and finds a wall, and Tony Harris. There was a foul before that. Could have been on Berhel Meneses. Or, yes, it was on Harris.
Here's that crossover dribble. Then the sidestep by Lambert Shell that forced Tony Harris into that foul. That will be number 2 on Tony Harris. So both Asaitono and Harris now with 2 personal fouls. Not a very good sign, although Swift is still on top here.
Lambert Shell with 5 points in the ball game. Rudy Distrito will be replaced by Al Solis. We'd like to take this opportunity to greet the Ad Congress people, all the participants at the Advertising Congress. And we hope you're having a nice time right there and enjoying this ball game. Yes, that's Camille. That was Camille, the girlfriend of Lambert Shell. Watching Lambert Shell do his thing here at the hard court. He's been leading Santa Lucia in the semi-final round in spite of the absence of Geraldo Plana. Illegal defense whistle.
That was very clear. Jun Limpot didn't know who to pick up on defense, and he was just roaming around the blue paint. Almost a automatic free throw as we're only 29.4 seconds remaining in the quarter.
6-point lead. Time for one play. Tony Harris, Vergel Meneses. Saldana moves over to the other side. Isolation play for Vergel Meneses. It was a handoff to Saldana, who's fouled underneath the rim.
Now Swift showing its muscle in terms of their slashing ability here. Every time somebody comes into the blue paint, a lot of the defense is drawn to him. That leaves 1 or 2 guys free on the wings. Terry Saldana has been a recipient of those passes, and he has delivered already with 6 points. Saldana only averages about 2 points per ball game. So he is a big lift for Coach Yangao off the bench here.
It was Lambert Shell who committed the foul on Saldana. Second free throw is all net. And it's still a relatively huge lead for the Swift Mighty Meaties. Underneath, oh, De Guzman bobbled and lost it. Marata, I hope he realizes he has very little time. Lambert Shell! It was a good line towards the hoop, but it didn't go, and it's 33-25 for the first quarter. The trees right beside him, and Real Bit fouled him, and he's at the 4.5-meter line. Swift is ahead by 8. Will it be cut down? Yes, with that first charity of Lambert Shell.
Well, Zaldi Rilabit checked in for Terry Saldana, who played a great first quarter, both offensively and defensively. Lambert Shell, the cornerstone of this Santa Lucia uprising here in the semifinals. 6-point lead for the Mighty Meaties.
From Al Solis to Tony Harris. From Tony Harris, will it be passed or will it be attempted? Solis to Nelson Asaitono in the paint. The jumper doesn't drop. High up for that rebound, but Andy De Guzman and Rick Marata over to Lambert Shell. Very quick transition offense by Santa Lucia. They're down there with Alvarez at low post, double teamed by Nelson Asaitono. And is it illegal defense? Quite a reaction from Tony Harris.
As if he's never heard of the call. Tony Harris will get a warning there.
It will be Andy De Guzman right in front of the Swift Mighty Meaties bench for the inbound to Rick Marata. Lambert Shell is matched up against Zaldi Realubit. Oh, Alvarez will lose it to the baseline.
You know, Alvarez has been forced to a couple of turnovers in this first half alone. Paul Alvarez a little out of control in a couple of plays there. Certainly Santa Lucia hoping that they can cut down on turnovers and maximize their possessions. Here's the double team again.
Currently a 6-point lead for the Swift Mighty Meaties. Almost a steal there by Alvarez. Oh, a triple V for Tony Harris for his 9th point of the ball game.
Tony Harris has only made 26% of his 3-point shots. A little drop from his previous average in his last conference last year, and certainly Tony Harris trying to get that back in his arsenal as he missed by Lambert Shell.
Strong rebound results in a pass on to Verhel Meneses and possibly a three-point play for the Swift Mighty Meaties.
There's no way you can stop Verhel Meneses once he gets the ball in the open floor. Very difficult. There you see him glide in the air, kiss it off the glass. And once again, Santa Lucia will have to hustle back on defense, probably prevent the outlet pass for them not to see these kinds of baskets.
Verhel Meneses top scored for the Swift Mighty Meaties in the first quarter. He had 13-10. Missed the three-point play. Andy De Guzman, yes. Quick basket for his 10th point.
And getting a basket off the transition there. Still a 9-point lead for the Mighty Meaties.
Tony Harris. Oh, he will lose it. Initiated by De Guzman, completed by Alvarez.
And that will be the third foul on Harris.
Oh, yes. A bit of second motion when Alvarez was already up there.
There you see this play again. Alvarez was about 3 steps ahead, and Harris still trying to intimidate him, reach him with his chest there. Again, those moments of asininities for Tony Harris. Third personal foul and a 3-point play completed by Bong Alvarez.
38-32. I like that. Moments of asininities. 9 minutes and 41 remaining, and Verhel Meneses with some fancy moves. Didn't drop the first time, the second time. As we said, he's been making a living from that spot on the right side using the glass.
And well, you have to credit half that basket to Realtors, who stayed on the play there.
Alvarez.
Eric Reyes will be called for that foul there.
Prevented Lambert Shell getting in closer to the rim so he could get a pass from Alvarez.
And Meneses has been replaced by Distrito. Meneses played a spectacular first 2 quarters. Some statistics in the first quarter: 65% shooting for Swift. Santa Lucia only 9 out of 22.
It's a foot race, and yes, Tony Harris will win it against Lambert Shell. That'll be the 11th point of Tony Harris. A 10-point lead for the Swift Mighty Meaties, and a triple V for Santa Lucia from Andy De Guzman on the other end.
You know, for a while I was going to say that Santa Lucia cannot stay at pace with Swift. They cannot force themselves to play at this pace, because this is the kind of game that Swift wants. Certainly they will have to slow it down here.
Rudy will lose it to the baseline. Rudy Distrito. We have 8 minutes and 40 remaining. In the second quarter, Rick Marata, bent by Rudy Distrito. Alvarez, after a good head and shoulder fake, gets the basketball and passes off to Zandro Limpot. It hits the foot of Reyes. Or was it Zandro Limpot? Oh yes, they turn it over.
And you know what Nat Canson was saying? Don't put the ball down, he was telling Jun Limpot, because it's very difficult for a big man to go through traffic there, putting the ball on the floor.
They give it back to Rudy Distrito. It doesn't go. Zaldi will get it underneath. It is too strong. Al Solis will get it back. Blocked. This is the 4th attempt. Missed. Marata will let go. Saved. And now Reyes will lose it. Finally to Alvarez, who is streaking down and laying up and converting.
There was no way Harris was going to come up with a defensive stance there. Harris with from 3-point range. Almost got it.
A tip-off contest for that basketball. Lambert Shell, Rick Marata, Andy De Guzman.
Oh!
They lose it to the baseline. Some quick action here from the Cuneta Astrodome.
Too much passing that time here. Here's that last play previously. Alvarez with a finger roll of Tony Harris, trying to force a foul there on Tony.
Al Solis is bringing it down. 7 minutes and 27 remaining. Just a 5-point lead for the Swift Mighty Meaties. He will not get the range from underneath the rim. Realubit.
Oh, another pass. That went all right.
But Santa Lucia presently has the momentum here.
Several opportunities for Santa Lucia to get back into this game. This is the second consecutive turnover. Alvarez flicking it over Andy de Guzman's way, but de Guzman not getting the pass as it hit him from behind.
Rudy Distrito's shot is short. Al Solis will get a second chance at the basket. With his left hand, he will convert. 44-37. 6 minutes and 47 remaining. Bong Alvarez against Al Solis. Zandro Limpot is asking for it. Matched up against Eric Reyes. After the triple team, the pass off to Bong Alvarez. The miss using the glass. Swift will control. Tony Harris all the way.
Well, Bong Alvarez will have to offer his body as some kind of resistance here. Tony Harris cannot be allowed to just go by him, especially when the double team is not coming.
Lambert shell.
Oh, yes, very hard shot there. Almost threw it behind his ear, not looking at the basket.
That point for Lambert shell. 7-point lead. The Swift Mighty Meaties have it. Harris passes off to Reyes. A foul committed from behind by Rick Marata.
You know, now we wonder why Jun Limpot is the one double teaming. Of course, we'll talk about that point after this timeout.
We'll be back. We just saw an alley-oop execution by the Swift Mighty Meaties. They're still ahead by 9, 48-39. Oh, a thud for Shell and Tony Harris. And Lambert Shell is in pain. As we look at Zaldi Realubit on the other end. Swift scores and Shell hasn't gone up yet. And we hope it is not serious.
That's a loud thud coming from Lambert Shell, and he is still wincing in pain there.
We can probably take a look at a replay of what happened. Moving towards the basket, and then
maybe his knee or his left arm.
Yes.
No call was made there by the referees. And there's Lambert Shell. He's up and about. That's a sigh of relief here for everybody.
Oh yes, because we could hear the thud from where we were.
And with the way he was really trying to protect his stomach, it seemed like it was a serious injury there, but they cannot come tougher than Lambert Shell here.
Oh yes. Here it is once again. They both fell like logs to the floor. And Lambert Shell has the basketball. De Guzman will convert from inside the paint.
Well, Andy de Guzman has been keeping aflame the offense here for Santa Lucia. He has been a big scorer here in the first half. 9-point lead for the Mighty Meaties.
Harris, after the ball fake, the pass off to Eric Reyes. Distrito is on the right side. On the left side is Zaldi Realubit. But Harris will nevertheless take the triple B.
He is still perfect from triple B country. 2 out of 2 so far. Stretching the lead of the Mighty Meaties to 12 with 4.5 remaining in the second quarter.
Lambert Shell, he will convert as if nothing happened. That was the 12th point of the ball game.
Well, the problem right now, Santa Lucia, is not really their offense. It's more of their defensive execution. They have not been able to stop the passes inside and the rotation of the ball here. They're still making Jun Limpot double team, and Limpot is a little slow coming back on defense.
Oh, a strong rebound by Lambert Shell. And he gives it off to Zandro Limpot for that slam, but Realubit was left all alone. Oh, good trail by Marata. And Santa Lucia will save it. Lambert Shell again was on the floor, but he will be up as Zandro Limpot will pass it back. 17 on the shot clock for Santa Lucia.
You gotta have an award here for Lambert Shell. He has been hitting the floor but coming back like a rubber ball here. Lambert Shell with a three-point jumper.
A triple B for his 15th point of the ball game. Santa Lucia inching closer. 5-point lead by Swift. 3 minutes and 19 remaining.
And Shell continues to shake off the pain in his hands here, Jimmy.
Only 8 seconds on the shot clock. It's lost to Bong Alvarez on a 2-on-3. A foul committed by Rudy Distrito.
You know, a while back this was a 12-point lead. The lead is down to 5 because of a couple of turnovers and defensive stops here. Distrito will pick up foul number 2.
We have 3 minutes and 5 before the break, and at Goy Knickknacks at the break, an amigo will sneak in on 2 celebrations: the baptismal party of Al Solis' daughters and the launching of Chot Reyes' new business. As Zandro Limpot will miss from underneath. Tony Harris will be double teamed. Oh, Rick Manata wanted that basketball. Got the foul. It is only the 13th foul of Santa Lucia.
The proper adjustments here so far.
Tony Harris against Toying Tevez. Again, Nelson Saitono is right there. Jack Tanuan didn't let go, and he committed another foul. That is foul number 2 on Jack Tanuan. For Santa Lucia, that is the 16th foul.
Well, this has not worked for Santa Lucia in terms of defense. When they let the big guy go out to Tony Harris and double team, the big guy's guard, usually Nelson Asaitono or Terry Saldana, gets open in the middle lanes. There's no way Marata can challenge him there. Maybe a change of a guy who will come out should be necessary here for Coach Nat Canzon.
Rick Marata to Toying Tevez. A foul by Rudy Distrito. Right there in front of referee Vic Bartolome. That'll be the 15th foul for the Swift Mighty Meaties. That is foul number 3.
Yes,
on Rudy.
That's the more significant thing there. A lot of the key players of Swift falling into foul trouble here.
Lambert Shell. Bong Alvarez has 19 seconds on the shot clock.
There's the double team.
Yes. Cross-court pass ends up with Rick Manata. Back to Toying. Tevez! A little short. Oh, Alvarez. Towing the baseline. And then now, Lambert Shell.
And Shell got entangled with his own teammate, Jack Tanuan, and that's why he was pretty frustrated there. Almost had a 3-point play. And Distrito will pick up foul number 4.
Oh yes, Rick Manata was telling Jack Tanuan, you shouldn't have stopped him. Could have been a 3-point play.
You're now with Santa Lucia, not with Swift.
Lambert Shell converting the first charity. Distrito will be replaced by Teroy Alvarillo. Welcome to the ball game.
Yes, Distrito has to sit down because of 4 personal fouls. He's much too valuable for Coach Yangel to risk at this stage. Shell completes 2 free throws and cuts down the lead of the Mighty Meaties to 5 with only that much time. 48 seconds remaining.
Tony Harris, Alvarillo, Al Solis. Oh, yes, all net. A triple B.
And that's what we were saying. They show different faces on their offense. This time they hit it from the corner with a 3-point jumper. Back to an 8-point lead for Swift.
Ball fake, and then the pass to Marata. Alvarez over to Jack Tanuan. A little short. Harris was right there. No baseball pass. There will be a baseball pass to Nelson Asaitono.
That is a beautiful catch by Asaitono, backtracking and then catching it with one hand. Another turnover. Meneses will have an open court shot here. Yes, what a move.
Oh yes. You will see a replay of that maybe later, but right now, that's the end of the second quarter.